Hello, my name is Bindu John and I am from Aspen University. I will be talking about a speech today. The speech I will be talking about is A Whisper of AIDS by Mary Fisher. Mary Fisher's purpose for her speech was to create awareness of HIV or AIDS. She was able to tell the audience how HIV or AIDS has affected her and her family's life while also staying confident. Her speech was moving, and she wanted to inform people so that once her children grew up, the prejudice around AIDS or HIV would decrease. AIDS or HIV was not taken seriously during 1992. Her message was delivered to let the audience know the seriousness of the disease and how it can affect them and those around them. She wanted the HIV or AIDS to be known so that the disease was no longer silenced in the community anymore. AIDS or HIV was a sensitive and not well talked about topic, which is why Mary Fisher decided to represent the AIDS community and inform the audience of the risk and seriousness of the disease. Mary Fisher's speech was delivered with perfection. She spoke as if she was speaking without any preparation. It was as if she was freely speaking to the audience. Maybe she memorized her speech, but the delivery of the speech was perfect. She spoke clearly and she directed her attention to the audience. She spoke while she looked at the audience, giving them eye contact throughout the whole speech. Her eyes stayed on the audience. She was never looking down on any notes and was prepared for her speech. She gave great body language and she had a great tone on her voice that helped listen to the speech better as well. Her speech was delivered with confidence. She spoke as reciting a poem and she conveyed her message to the audience perfectly. She did not speak too fast or too slow. She spoke at a perfect rate, which helped me listen to her speech more willingly. I did not have any big listening challenges when I was listening to her speech. Her speech was fluent and interesting to hear because her speech felt interactive just from her body language and tone alone. A listening challenge that I had while listening to the speech was the distractions I had when I was listening to the speech. Other listening challenges that I had while listening to her speech was that she spoke more about herself and her family rather than the actual topic that she was trying to portray. Her message was about raising awareness of the seriousness of the disease, but she mostly talked about her family, the effect that the disease it had on her family and herself, etc. She did not speak about the actual disease itself or the risk it had other than the effect it had on her family and herself. I believe she was trying to receive empathy from the audience so that they are able to understand how much it can affect people. Some activities that distracted me while I was listening to her speech was my children, my hunger, and my phone. My phone has always been a distraction to me because there are times when my friends or coworkers contact me either for fun or work-related topic. I was actually waiting for my coworker to text me back on some work-related topics, so my attention on the speech to my phone was frequent. Other distractions included speaking to my children. My children were asking me questions about what I was listening to since they were curious. They asked about what we are eating for dinner today, etc. The last distraction had to do with my hunger. I had not eaten anything and my children were eating food in front of me, so I was often distracted. Some task I can do without affecting my listening is eating, briefly speaking to others, and taking notes. Eating is something I always do while watching my favorite shows or movies. It is not that much of a distraction for me because I am actively listening while consuming food. I can also speak to others very briefly. I can provide short answers to small questions, etc. I can also take notes. Notes can help me better understand the material overall and can help me memorize and take out the many main points and purposes of overall lecture, speech, etc. Taking notes is the most effective type of method used to understand most talks, such as lectures and speech. It is a type of task that can help with listening rather than being a distraction. Here's the end of my speech. Thank you for listening.